Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today in this webinar, where we'll be exploring the topic of tackling the skill shortage with Workerbase, with a particular focus on our AI-powered knowledge capture. As for a short introduction, my name is Brandon, and I'm joined today by Vincent, a topic expert from our team who's been working with manufacturers on this topic.
Yes, hi everyone, welcome.
So before we dive further, I'd like to establish some general housekeeping. If there's any questions during the webinar, please feel free to comment them into the Q&A section. We'll be collecting them throughout, and we'll try our best to answer all of them at the end. Having sorted that out, let's dive into today's agenda. We'll be first having a short intro into what Workerbase is for everybody who's not familiar with us, and then we'll move into today's topic of knowledge capture. This will then be followed by a deeper dive and a live demo into our AI knowledge management feature, and we'll be wrapping it up with a Q&A, as I mentioned earlier. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's first address why Workerbase exists. So for everyone who is familiar, please bear with me. I'll try to be fast. So we've seen that many manufacturing companies, there's a long tail of processes and tasks that aren't essentially governed by existing IT and software solutions. So usually the core functions are covered by ERPs and MESs, but on the plant level, there's countless combinations of different hardware and software solutions that are used to manage day-to-day activities. Staff might be using things from paper checklists, Excel spreadsheets, internally developed software, and many more. So this is essentially why Workerbase exists. We want to centralize all of this in our platform, where companies can essentially enable teams to create apps within our platform and then manage them and govern them in one place, speeding up digitization and continuous improvement efforts. So how does this work exactly? Well, first, we usually tend to integrate into existing systems and machines. Then internal teams can use our backend to develop apps and use cases using our low-code editor and workflow automation tools. Then these apps that are developed by your teams are then deployed and used on the shop floor by frontline workers and approved upon when needed. So now that you have a little bit of a background into Workerbase, let's dive into why we need knowledge capture. So we all know today that a common challenge for nearly all manufacturers is that large portions of their workforces will be retiring in the coming years. And this poses a huge risk as precious operational knowledge won't be passed on to the next generation of workers and will lead to essentially massive problems when it comes to productivity and day-to-day operations. And we also know that this issue really won't resolve itself, as there will not be enough new employees coming in from a demographic standpoint. Additionally, this new generation of workers is totally different from their predecessors, bringing in a different set of skills and abilities. And as employers, essentially, we need to start thinking about how we can adapt to fit their specific needs. So we saw this issue and essentially boil it down to three primary challenges that need to be addressed. First, preserve and retain key operational knowledge from your experienced workers. Two, empower workers to learn on the job and expedite onboarding and training. Three, digitize processes for gathering this knowledge, so making this a simple process, and also make it easy to create documentation from this. And that's essentially the reasoning behind why we developed our knowledge capturing solution. And essentially, we've aimed to make it easy for you to deploy it in your manufacturing environment to tackle essentially these core issues. So now I'll be passing it on to Vincent to take you guys into a deeper dive of our feature and solution.
Yep, thank you. If you unshare my screen, your screen, then I can share my screen and show the solution. Perfect, thank you. Share my screen. All right. So what does our solution look like? Basically, we have 5 steps, right? So imagine a worker having a problem and he doesn't have the knowledge to solve the problem, right? Maybe a new worker on a job, a young worker. What he will do in the first step is to request help from a supervisor. Then a supervisor will come to this worker and will assist him in solving the problem that he has, for example, with a machine. and the operator, like the young operator who has the problem, he will capture the problem using a video. And this video will be stored like with the context, right, at the machine where we are, with the problem that we have on the Workerbase platform. And then we can use AI to extract knowledge from it, to slice it down into bite-sized knowledge information. Once the AI has like went through the information and created this knowledge bytes, we then have a human validation step where a human operator, like a shift lead, a foreman, or an engineer can go through the information, see if it's valid, review it for accuracy, enrich it, and then once he's finished with it, deploy this knowledge document to the workers using the Workerbase app. So all in all, we have a closed process where when we have a problem, we record it directly, we save it in context on the platform, we review it, and then we have direct digital access within Workerbase. So this is also the speciality, right? We don't need to motivate people to say, hey, we have, like in your daily work, you have 5 processes that you have to care about. And on Monday, please record this. And Tuesday, record another process. We have everything like in the moment, right? On the job. You have a problem. You have a natural workflow using Workerbase where you A, resolve the problem, and B, document how you resolve the problem in this workflow. And second of all, this is how you are able then to fully document the missing knowledge on the platform in the right space. So with the theory done, let's jump in the live demo. Here we have this example that I talked about, right? What we can see here is like 3 screens. The first one is the dashboard. Let's say it hangs next to a machine. Then we have this screen, which, here it's in my browser, but it's in practicality, it would be on the phone of the operator, where he or she will receive the problem from the machine. And then we actually have like a third one for the supervisor, which I omitted here for the sake of screen space. So this is what the people on the shop floor are seeing. And here we will look at it after. There's then the platform where the information is edited and will arrive. So now let's start, right? We have a problem at the machine. Usually this is done automatically. When the machine has a problem, it's transferred to Workerbase, but we can also trigger it manually like here. So we encounter an issue on the machine. It has an error, and the operator will receive a notification. Hey, the machine has an interruption. Please go to it and fix it. So I accept the issue. I see the information about the problem, and I realize, okay, I'm not able to fix it. I need help. So I go to request help for this issue, and then a help request is sent to the supervisor. The supervisor will come to the site, to the machine, and will fix the issue. At the same time, right, the operator, which is using this phone, gets the task knowledge capture, right? So the operator needs to like document, to make a video of the resolving of the problem. So here I go into it. I can directly put in some information. So here we can give a name for this knowledge capture element. I will just leave it as is. Resolve error on the machine as a repair manual. I continue, and now I can record a video using my phone. Here I will upload a video. So here. So I will upload this video I recorded yesterday about making a coffee, right? So don't laugh. It's actually using our machine a quite complicated process where we like go through different steps, like taking a filter, putting it on the tempering on the filter, setting the grinding size, turning on the machine, yeah, then we make sure we take the right coffee cup. We have to temper it. So it's a lot of steps that we have to do. And then in that sense, it's very much comparable to an industrial process. So this is the documentation of the process that I then upload to the platform. So now the issue has been resolved, right? And the video lands on the platform. So let me just recap quickly what we've just seen while the video is uploading and processing. So we had a problem at the machine. The operator was notified. The operator was not able to resolve the issue by him or herself. That's why then there was a help request being sent to a supervisor. The supervisor came, fixed the problem, and while fixing the problem or doing the task, we created the video from resolving this issue. This video is then being uploaded to the platform, and now we will see it in a second when it's done processing, and we continue to extract the knowledge from this video. All right. So perfect. So I can have a look at it here. I see the video. Okay, perfect. Works. Then we have to connect it to the asset, right, to this machine. The information is directly pre-filled because the system knows, okay, it's a G8 machine. It's the title we put in. I will just leave it like this. Just have to give it a version number 1, and then I can create this knowledge video on the platform. So here we have it. Perfect. We have a little AI generation, AI description for it that we will elaborate on in a second. But now, let's say we just need a video for now. Perfect. I have the first version created of how to resolve this process. I'll publish it, and with publishing, after the review process, it's directly available again in the client for the shop floor people. So I go, how do I find it? I just jump to the machine that I was working on. So it was the G8 machine. And now under knowledge, we have this new video, how to resolve the issue. Like, it's not a very descriptive name. I should have put something better there, but how to resolve the error on the machine. And I can watch it on my phone. I can watch it directly the next time I have this issue. But now the thing is, now we have a 3-minute video on the on the shop floor, which is nice. But if you have a problem, like oftentimes you probably know, like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this, and then something is missing, and maybe you don't need to watch the whole video, right? How do you find the right spot? How do you get the information from the video? So this is what we will do now, how to extract the information from the video to create a document that's more catered for the shop floor. For this, we have an application that will enable you to extract this information from every video, from all the processes. And what we do here is we add all of this context, like the video, documentation, other information you have, into a bucket that we will give to the AI, and the AI will create a document that you can then edit and improve on. So here we can directly add the document we already created. So document also video, right? So I'll just search it here. So G6 machine, G7 machine, G9 machine, G8 machine, there it is. And there's the video we just recorded, right? So I'll select this video. It's being added to the context. So now we described a whole lot in the video. We didn't watch all of it, but it was quite well, so quite descriptive what we had in there. Now I can add some more information. So let's say I have an image also taken, for example, this one here. You can see this is like from the milk frothing. We always have to fill it up to the second edge only, right? For cappuccino, we don't want to fill it to the third one or the first one, so only to 140 mil to second edge always. We didn't specifically mention this in the video, but I want to know, like, have this in the process as well. So here I upload the image, I add this information, fill the milk only to the second edge, only for cappuccino. I hope I spelled it right, probably not. So this is like 140 milliliter, right? So we added this information as well. And now I could continue. I could also do some, like, an explanation with voice. I added a new image, video, text. So as you also know it from WhatsApp, for example, you can add all of the information and it will be there to create the document. So now I can create a knowledge item. I can either create a checklist that I can recursively use and fill out, or I can create a smart document, which is more like a read-through instruction on how to do something. So I will choose a smart document here. Then I have to save it to the asset again. So we had the G8 machine. Here we create a new document, and I will call it solve the coffee issue, right? So I continue, and now I start analysis, and now I'm giving all of this information to the AI, and the AI will create a document where all of this information is in. And the special thing is that it's not only generating text, but it's also analyzing the video, looking at the photo, and it will pick the right moments in the video. It will pick the right photos for the right steps, so that it's not only text, but like a multi-modal visualization with also images and photos. All right, perfect. So here we have the document being created. Let's have a look at it, right? So first of all, we directly see, okay, it identified the machine as the Ninja coffee machine, and it also had the knowledge about the asset, where it's located, right? So it doesn't really match up, but still nicely done here. Then at the first step, we have a preparation of steps that we need to do. So all of the things that we need to do the process, the preparation of the filter, the funnel, and so on. So here we see a screenshot from the video, right? It took a moment where we put the filter in. Or maybe it's not a perfect one, so we can edit this one later. And then it goes through the steps we have to do, right? Power on the machine, select the grind size, start the coffee grinding. And then here we have preparing the milk. So it says, okay, prepare the milk pitcher to the 140 milliliter mark, second edge for a cappuccino. So we see also that's the additional information we added, right? So it has to fill it up to the second edge only, and it got that information from not only the video, but also the photo and the additional information I put to the photo. So we have all of this information here, and now I can, if I'm not happy with it, I can go back, I can say, okay, please add this and that, or I could save it here now. And then once I save it, it then again is attached to the machine that I just specified, so the G8 machine. Right now we have here the new document, solve the coffee issue, that we just created with the help of the AI. And now we have the last, or the verification step, the almost last step. So I can go in, and now I have here a nice editor where I can edit the information, highlight information, maybe also edit the photos, delete the photos if I don't need them. So it's not something the AI just creates and puts out there, but I have an editor where I can edit the steps and then save this document. And then once I'm finished with it, only then decide to publish it to the shop floor, to the correct people. And as for the video, if I now go to find to the machine, I will have in the knowledge items the document, solve the coffee issue, right? So if I click into it, I can see how it's being done from the video. So let's go back and to the presentation and recap what we've done. We have an issue at the machine, we get an error, we request help, we document the issue using a video in the process, in the context. Then once that's done, it's getting saved to the Workerbase platform in the right place, in the right context. Then we can use AI to extract information from this video, enrich it with more information. A smart document or a checklist is being created that I can validate and improve upon as a human operator. And once I've done that, I can publish this document to the shop floor. All right. Brandon, also with the look on the time, I think I have to give it back to you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Amazing.
Sharing, right? That you can share again.
Yes, give me one moment. I will share my screen again and bring the slides back. All right, I hope everything's working properly.
Yeah,
there we are.
Screen again.
Awesome. So essentially, thanks for the deep dive, obviously. In summary, with this approach, essentially preservation happens on autopilot. So there's three obvious core benefits. And the primary one is there's no need for large corporate initiatives or extra resources for collecting existing knowledge and mapping it to essentially the respective asset in this case. And it should essentially seamlessly blend into a worker's day-to-day activities and not appear as like an additional burden, like Vincent kind of described at the start. You shouldn't be like, oh, today I have to do X, Y, Z. It kind of naturally occurs as workers progress through their tasks. And all you really need to do is record the video in context, and you can actually transform it into many other forms of documentation, not just work instructions, kind of like how Vincent showed, but you can add additional things like checklists and any additional features you'd like in our platform. Additionally, we can obviously see like this will vastly expedite the rate at which knowledge is digitized, right? So it's usually just a few clicks away. And obviously, it's very readily available to workers immediately and easily accessed through either the machine itself or in documentation through the platform. Now we can move into our Q&A. Awesome. So obviously a common question I think we can see here is like, can AI misinterpret a video and hallucinate instructions, and how you can safeguard against it? I think we saw here that Vincent kind of addressed that, but if you'd like to mention it again, I think there's obviously the validation step, but go for it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, actually, there's the validation step, but there's two things, right? First of all, we put in some guardrailing by telling the AI very specifically how to document the process and what to put in and what to put out. And this can also be adjusted. For example, I mentioned how there's in the beginning of the documentation a part about the preparation, maybe also safety equipment that you need to use. And you can really specify this with the prompting of the AI, what you want in the documentation and what you want out. And obviously, still there can be issues. So the second step is the human verification. So the human operator can go in again, use the editor to rework what the AI has been created and make sure that it's a well documented or a good documentation.
Awesome. I see that we also got two questions coming in here on the side that haven't been listed. I'm just going to put them to you and you can answer them as we go. So first of all, do you provide training sessions for workers on how to use Workerbase as a part of the product? That's coming in from one of our
Yeah,
guests.
definitely. This is, I would say, a big part of my job as a solution consultant. So obviously, I help customers to build like digitalization on Workerbase on the shop floor, and then also doing the training on checklists on how to document processes using AI, which is coming up. and yeah, on how to use Workerbase in general. Yeah. So yes.
Yep. And then there's a second question also. Essentially, they're asking, is there a way for Workerbase to recognize the specific issue the machine is having to guide the worker to the needed solution right away?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We didn't show that today, but this is also a big part of what we do, right? So in Workerbase, the machine is, let's say the machine is connected to Workerbase, we get the information about the issue. So let's say we just had the error H100, right? So this is being transferred to Workerbase, and then maybe you have some documentation, a PDF in this knowledge find section I just showed, and then you have a chat with the AI. If when you resolve the issue, it knows from the machine, okay, it has the error H100. It looks in the documentation and knowledge that we have in the smart documents and PDFs. What does the error H100 mean? And then it gives you a response back directly in context. Hey, okay, I see that you have an issue with the machine. It's the issue H100. According to the documentation, you should do this and this and this and this. And then you could potentially, like, this should resolve the issue. But if you have more, like need more, then you can chat back and get more information.
Yep. Amazing. And then continuing here with some of the ones we have listed. So obviously, some people might already have a knowledge management system in place. So how does Workerbase essentially interact with that?
Yeah, so we can import and export these documents you just saw from Workerbase. So importing means if you have like some, most of the time it's something about the machine itself. It's like huge PDF documents that you have usually as paper under the table at the machine you take out of there, so you can upload this. You can upload all kinds of knowledge to the platform. And then if you want to extract the knowledge, you can like extract the documents and checklists using PDF, for example, manually, or eventually, if you like that too, we can set it up in a way that it synchronizes the knowledge from the platform to the to the existing knowledge management system.
Okay, awesome. We just got a new question just in. So they're asking, given there's so many different machine types in factories, how do you communicate with these machines, essentially? So how are we passing data?
Yeah. So this very much depends on the specific use case. Usually there's like a broker, like an MQTT broker or a OPC-UR connection where we can get the data from the machine, and then we parse it into our system and yeah, have it available connected to the assets.
Okay, awesome.
But it really depends on the specific infrastructure.
Okay, awesome. And I guess we'll go through some of these other questions as well. So can existing documentation like paper documents, images, and PDFs be used instead of video? I think you also kind of addressed this as well. So I think we
Yeah.
can,
Exactly, yeah. You can, yes, so you
yeah,
can
we can
upload
we can
all
move
of this
past
as
this one, yeah.
well. You saw in the knowledge AI how you could add all of the different information. Yeah, I just like to explain it. Just imagine the normal ChatGPT interface or WhatsApp chat, you put everything in there, and then instead of answering directly, it will gather this information, you put everything in there, and then it will create this big document that you can then edit.
Okay, awesome. And just to wrap it up, I think here, how do you deal with sensitive knowledge that like essentially shouldn't be shared widely across the workforce, right?
So in Find, you saw the different types of documents. So we have smart documents, we have checklists, and all of the other kinds. And you can publish them for everybody, but you also can restrict them with roles. For example, there might be some information you just want to share with your foreman. You create a role foreman that you assign to different people, and then you just publish the information for the foreman, and then no one else can see it, basically. Yeah.
All right, amazing. I think that essentially covers all the questions we had come in, and it's pretty much perfectly on time. So I'd like to thank everybody here for joining us today, and we hope to see you guys at our next webinar. Thanks you guys so much for your time.
Thank you, Brandon. Thanks everybody for joining. Bye bye.
Take care, everyone. Have a nice day.